Hello everyone, Muckluck Douglas Bartholomew Reginald Esquire IV here, and this is a guide to crafting skills in Guild Wars 2. In this guide we will cover what each crafting discipline can do, how to level them up, and how to make use of some extremely handy tools to ease your crafting journey, and some other tips and tricks. By default, you can have 2 crafting professions per character. Nearly everything made by a profession is account bound, so you can swap to another character to make something, then transfer the item through the bank to the appropriate character you need that item on. You can see which professions your characters have easily from the character selection screen. You can have more than 2 professions on a single character with the use of a gem store purchase if you wish to do so. Additionally, a note for new players here, gathering in this game is not a profession. Everyone can mine rocks, chop down trees, harvest materials without using up a profession slot. You just need the gathering tools to do so. Cooking. Used to cook food, and other food-related items. In its final form, cooks can place down ascended feasts that give massive stat increases to everyone that interacts with them, gives you bonus loot from nodes you harvest and meaty monsters that you kill, makes dyes to change the colors on equipment, and gives you a garden in your home instance where you can get free materials each day or spend some coin to grow much more expensive materials. Jewel crafting creates rings, blings, amulets, and accessories which can be equipped. Can also make a large number of crafting components used in other professions. For example, the legendary axe Frostfang is made with weaponsmithing, but requires a gemstone created with jewel crafting that is bind on account, so one of your characters would have to be a jewel crafter. Artificing can create weapons of the following types: magic wand, compensating magic wand, giant fork, and focus. Can make various potions as well. Huntsman can create weapons of the following types: underwater boomstick, large twangy stick, tiny boomstick, compensating boomstick, short twangy stick, burny stick, and noisy stick. Weaponsmithing produces weapons made of sterner stuff, including axe, tiny sword, oversized sword, 2-hand bonk, 1-hand bonk, shield, pointy stick, and normal size sword. Armorsmithing can make heavy armor, used by Jock Warriors, Blue Warriors, and Revenants for all armor slots, can also produce storage boxes, which are essentially bags. Leatherworking can make medium armor, used by cunning rangers, genius engineers, and dirty thieves that probably didn't pay for it, for all armor slots, can also produce larger bags. Tailoring can make light armor, used by flamboyant mesmers, terrifying necromancers, and the unkillable elementalists, for all armor slots, can also produce larger bags. Scribe. Scribe is a unique trade skill in that it requires a guild hall to level. Scribes make schematics of war machines used in World vs. World, such as catapults and battering rams. They make banners, which can be placed to buff anyone nearby who interacts with them, and can make all manner of decorations for guild halls. All professions can refine materials related to that profession, such as turning raw lumber into wooden planks or mithril ore into ingots. All professions can also make miscellaneous other things that were not listed above, so note that what I've mentioned is not an all-inclusive list. Backpacks. Every trade has a line of backpacks. There are 6 tiers that will range in both stats and graphic from levels 1 through 78, giving you an easy-to-obtain exotic back item that will last you a while at max level before you find a replacement. The graphics grow as well. Here's a few examples. It's called Fashion. Look it up. How to pick a trade skill. When in any capital city, look for the profession icons on the minimap. They look like this. Head there and talk to any profession master and ask to be trained in that profession. They will warn you that you can only have 2 at a time. Say that you understand, and boom, you learn the basics. Note, if you abandon a trade skill to pick another one, then later switch back to the original, you do not have to start over. Your progress is saved. I can't imagine why any game ever would make you do such a thing. Next to each master is a crafting station. Open the station and you can create anything on the left-hand side. As long as the recipe is not gray, it will provide you with crafting experience. As you level up the craft, you will learn many new recipes automatically. No need to go visit the trainer repeatedly or anything like that. Besides learning them automatically, there are 2 other primary ways to get the recipes. One is by obtaining the plans to make a new item. These come from various merchants or drop in treasure chests. Another way is by discovery. Some recipes in the game can only be obtained by crafting it using the Discovery tab, which is essentially sticking items together to see what works. As always, the wiki is your friend here. If you're trying to make something and one of its components you do not know how to build, type /wiki space item name or /wiki space shift-click the item if you have a link to it to see its page, and you can see right there if it's a discovery or a bought recipe. And if it is a discovery, you can see what ingredients are put together to unlock it permanently on your list. The search box is your friend. When you get a lot of recipes, use the search box to speed up finding what you're looking for on the production or the discovery tabs. When crafting, it will automatically use items from your bank and material storage without you having to go get them. You can also access your bank and the material storage using the tabs on the left-hand side of the crafting station. When crafting, if you need to craft a subcomponent, click the magnifying glass next to the component to open the craft window for that item, and so on as far as you need to go. Then you can click back up to the previous windows or close the window you're in to go back up a level. You will also notice when crafting multiple of an item, it gets faster and faster up to a cap, which is very nice for saving time. If you are low on an ingredient, you can right-click on the item in the crafting interface and click Buy More at Trading Post to immediately go to its purchase page on the Trading Post to see if you wish to bid on or buy it outright, assuming of course it is a tradable item. Now I want to show you two very handy tools for the Master Craftsman. You may have never heard of these, or you may have heard of them and found them a bit intimidating, but stick with me and this will make your crafting life much easier. The first is gw2crafts.net. My favorite part about this website is the fast guides, which show you the near fastest way to level a trade skill from 1 to maximum, useful for a max level character that is starting a new trade. When you click a fast guide, let's use leatherworking as an example because it will show you a list of items to buy to get your skill to the maximum for that section of the guide. But here's the cool part. Here's a field that says Enter API key here. This feature allows the website to see what you have in your bank and update accordingly. To use this feature, we will click Generate a Key here. Log in with our Guild Wars 2 credentials and we are at an ArenaNet website on a page that generates an API key. Now, the Guild Wars 2 Crafts website said it needed access to see inventories to function, so we will make a key for that. Copy the key, go back to the GW2 Crafts page and paste it in. Click Get Bank Content. The page will update in a big way. Now you can see on the left what I already have and on the right what I still need. It will calculate the cost of the missing items and give you an estimate of the money required to rush the trade skill to cap all at once. When leveling crafting fast, get a crafting boost from a guild hall or a crafting booster, or both. This will increase how often you occasionally get critical experience and reduces how much time and money it takes to level. Now, let's take a look at the second tool I want to show you, gw2efficiency.com. This website has mountains of information, and I highly recommend browsing around on it. You can see your character's birthdays, the dailies for the day, directions to rich mining nodes, and much more, but today our visit is about crafting. Let's say you're about to craft a big project, such as a legendary. Let's type in Frostfang, the Gen 1 legendary tradable axe. You can see that not counting quest items, it would take roughly 1,300 gold to buy everything at once and rush through making this item. You can see that I would save 600-ish gold for my trouble because buying Frostfang on the trading post would cost 2,000 gold to buy outright. Now on this website, you want to create a login. You'll notice at the top we're logged in as Muckluck and there is an API key. This is identical to what we did earlier for GW2 Crafts to allow the website to see our bank and items. Now because I am logged in and I've already put in my API key, I can click Use Own Materials and have it calculate Frostfang again, but this time using materials I already have if I have them. You can see the cost to make the item dropped by over 1,000 gold. Scrolling down, we can see the owned materials, and scrolling down even further, we can see the shopping list, which is the list of items we're missing to complete the item. Keep in mind that anything that is a quest item will be on the shopping list with no coin amount next to it. That means you gotta go get it. Reminder, /wiki space item name in-game will give you information on an item that you're missing. Scrolling down further gives you the step-by-step on how to put your mountain of materials together to finish the project. Now, GW2 efficiency can be used in the way I just displayed for any big crafting project, legendary or not, and While on the topic of legendaries, there is a guide on this YouTube channel in the guides playlist on legendary crafting if you need help with that. As always, if you can think of anything on the topic of crafting that might help someone else, please put it in the comments. If you enjoyed the content or found it useful, you can support the channel by liking the video or subscribing. And lastly, you can ask me questions live any night after 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over at Twitch. Feel free to use me as a resource. Hit the follow button there to be notified when we are live. That's it for today. Happy crafting!